Peace and grace to you, my dear friends of St. Francis. I pray for all of you that on this day you are all safe and well. You know, I'm still on a spiritual and emotional high from this past Sunday. This past Sunday, we celebrated the feast of the resurrection. It was Easter. And on this past Sunday, Easter Sunday, was the very first time that we were able to gather in our church physically as a community of faith for over 1 year. And if you were there, if you happen to have been with us this past Sunday, physically with us, I am certain that you know something of the joy and the excitement that I was feeling deep down in my soul. It was a wonderful and glorious day. And moving forward, if you were not with us this past Sunday on Easter, there will be many opportunities every Sunday moving forward for us to gather in the church. Remembering, you need to register online. Yes, I'm still on an emotional and spiritual, exuberating feeling and high from this past Sunday, because we are still in this season of Easter. Yes, my dear friends, Easter, like Christmas, is a full season. The vast majority of the world has gone on from the day of the resurrection to living their lives as usual. But you and I, we celebrate Easter for the full 50 days. Yes, 50 days of Easter. 40 days from the feast of the resurrection until the feast of the Ascension, and then 10 days from the feast of the Ascension until the grand feast of Pentecost. We know that Jesus lived on earth, this terrestrial place, for 40 days before the Ascension. Scripture is clear, and it tells us that on that evening of the resurrection, that Jesus appeared to his disciples in an upper room where the doors and windows were shut, and he showed them his hands and side. The scriptures then go on to tell us that it was a week later he appears to his disciples, because we know Thomas was not there. We also know that Jesus showed himself to his disciples while they were fishing, and he prepares an early breakfast on the seashore of broiled fish. I can't help but wonder what else Jesus did during these 40 days. We know that he appeared to his disciples on the road to Emmaus. What else might Jesus have done during these 40 days? I can imagine that Jesus went back to the home of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus and spent time with them. I would have to assume deep within my soul that Jesus revealed himself to his mother, Mary. Yes. What can you imagine Jesus having done for these 40 days we celebrate during this season of Easter? And how do you imagine yourself? How do you see yourself spending these 40 days and then 10 days to the Feast of Pentecost? How do you see yourself living with Christ and Christ living with you during these 40 days? Where will Jesus go? And will you be there with him? Where will you go? And will you have a heart open to allow Jesus to be with you while he is still here with us? Oh, my dear friends, I pray for each and every one of you that you would know the fullness of the joy of the resurrection for this full season of Easter.